Okay, so we have discussed our primary trig ratios using SOHCAHTOA as well as Pythagorean theorem, and both of these need a right angled triangle. So what happens when it's not a right angled triangle? This is when we introduce sine law and cosine law. Okay, so today we're going to be focusing on sine law. So sine law is side A over sine angle A equals side B over sine angle B equals side C over sine angle C. So we only need to use two pieces of the three that are here, but it does show all three pieces. So our lowercase represents our sides, and our uppercase represents our angles. The sine law can be used only when you know, so when we know two sides and the angle opposite a known side. So if we know this side and this side, then we would need to know an angle that is opposite of the sides, so either this angle here or this one here. Like so. Other option, or two angles and any side. Okay, the reason that it can be any side here is because when we have a triangle, we know that the angles add to 180. So if we know two of our angles, we also know what the third angle would be. So then we can be finding any side we would like to. I'm going to go back for a second here. So if I were to I'm going to draw another triangle here. So if we have A and angle A, B, angle B, C, angle C. We want to match up any of the pairs we have. So with the formula where we see A sine A, B sine B, C sine C, that's the information that we're looking to pair up. So we can pair up A with angle A, B with angle B, or C with angle C. Okay, so if we're able to draw two of these pairs, then we can use sine law. So this question, we want to find the length of A. So we want to find the length of side A, which is this one here. We have the angle that's across from it. We have angle A. And we also have angle B and the length of the side across from it here. So we have these pairs and these pairs. Okay, so our formula is A over sine A equals B over sine B. Filling in what we know, we do not know the length of A, we keep that the same. Over sine angle A, our angle A is 49 degrees. and we set that equal to side B, which is 8 centimeters, over sine angle B, which is 80 degrees. Now our goal is to get side A by itself, meaning we want to move the divide by sine 49 to the other side. The opposite of divide is multiply, so we bring it over and multiply. So we get side A is equal to 8 times sine 49 over sine 80. Okay, so all of this can go in your calculator. I am putting 49 sine times 8 equals divided by 80 sine and equals again. And I get 6.13 centimeters as side A. Okay, this one is asking for the length of side B, this one here. We notice that we have the angle across from it. Our angle B is 65. And we have side C with angle C here. So matching up our pairs. And I'm going to set up the equation. So B over sine B equals C over sine C. We don't know side B, so that'll stay. Sine angle B is 65 degrees. Side C is 30 meters over sine, and our angle C is 50 degrees. Again, we want to solve for side B. We're going to move the divide by sine 65 to the other side, and it will become multiply. So B equals 30 times sine 65 divided by sine 50. And side B, in my calculator, I'm putting 65 sine times 30 equals divided by 50 sine and equals again. And we get a measurement of 35.49 meters. Okay, next, solve for angle Q. So instead of solving for a side length, we are solving for an angle now. We still need to look for our pairs. So we notice we have angle R as well as side R. And we want to find angle Q. We know side Q. Okay, so you've been given the equation where it's A over sine A equals B over sine B. We can also flip this formula where we have sine A over A equals sine B over B. And we'll be able to solve this in the same way. So, with having your unknown on the top, it just makes solving a little bit easier. You're saving a couple steps. So even though we don't have A's and B's in our diagram, we're just going to be replacing the A's and the B's with R's and Q's. So we're solving for angle Q. So I'm going to put sine Q over, and the length of side Q is going to go underneath, which will be 112. And equals sine angle R, which is 56, over side r, which is 98. Okay. To get sine q by itself, we'd have a divide by 112 on this side, bring it to the other side and multiply. So sine q equals 112 times sine 56 divided by 98. Okay, in your calculator, 56 sine times 112 equals, divided by 98, and we get 0.9475. And now to solve for angle Q, we need to move sine to the other side. A reminder, when we move sine to the other side, it becomes a sine inverse. So we want to have the sine inverse of that decimal number we just got. Again, you're going to press second or press your shift button in order to get that sine inverse. And we get 71.3 degrees as angle Q. Right, this one we want to solve for angle Y. We want this piece here. Here we have a pair here. And we do not have any other pairs. Okay, we do not know side Y. So if we only have one pair, only one pair. Say we can't use sine law. Okay. Now, let's rephrase this question. What could we find the angle to? So we have this pair here, and we have this side, the 12 centimeters, and it matches up with angle Z. So we actually have a second pair here that we can use. So if we rephrase the question, and we want to solve for angle Z instead, we're going to scratch this. Okay, solving for an angle, we write sine A over A equals sine B over B. So the sine A that we are solving for is our angle Z. So we write sine Z over, and side Z is 12. Sine of angle X is 87 over side X, which is 15. So getting the sine Z by itself, we need to move the divide by 12 to the other side. We're going to multiply. 12 times sine 87 divided by 15. In my calculator, I'm putting 87 sine times 12 equals divided by 15 and equals again. I get 0.7989. To get z by itself, to solve for the angle, we do a sine inverse of 0.7989. And we get 53 degrees. Okay. So having this angle of 53 degrees, we now have two angles in the triangle, and we can solve for angle y. So going back to our original question, we can now solve for angle y. We know that the the degrees in a triangle add up to 180. So to find angle y, that's going to be the 180 subtract angle x and angle z, which is subtract 87 and subtract 53. So angle y is 180 minus 87 minus 53, and 40 degrees is angle y. Okay, so the sine law can be used to take you to other measures that can't directly use sine law. Okay, so the rest of the time you can be doing these questions from the textbook, and you will also get more time tomorrow to be working on those practice questions. Please let me know if you have any questions.